for the person who's missing. So I'll share the recording and put it on as a unlisted on YouTube, and you guys can watch it. So what we just did is called authentic relating, and basically there are 3 levels of communication. Most people are only living through the first level, which is informational. I share what I did this morning, you share your knowledge, we share really just things from the mind. The second level of communication, which you keep usually with your partner, with your best friends, is personal. I share from the heart what's happening in my life at the moment, the struggles I'm going through. You share about your life. This is usually how we exchange. The third level is where deep connection happens, is when we talk about us. When you're no longer talking about the other person, you're not talking about yourself, but you're talking about the impact the other person is having in your life. So that's what we experience in this game. So every time you are talking about, like for instance, what I think you think about me. No, I'm not talking about me. I have an idea of how I'm being perceived by this gentleman. I'm going to reveal myself as, and then you can say, yes, you're right, or no, you're wrong, or you're a little bit right. And then we can have a conversation about, hey, so I can test now how I feel I'm being perceived in the world. I do this in training. It's extremely confronting. You know, I've said, for instance, things like, and I do it with people I spend 3 weeks with. I would say something like, I feel you think that I don't behave the same way with men and women in the group. And then some people will say, 5 is yes, 1 is no, and some women would say, let's say a 4. And that says, okay, tell me more. Why do you think I don't behave the same way? So it's an incredible opportunity for me to check in how I'm being perceived in the group. Or I think you think I can come across as arrogant sometimes. So I can really, go on the things that could be very edgy, but at the same time, it creates deep connection. And it's an incredible way to learn about yourself, because maybe I'm completely wrong. And then I have ideas about how I think you are perceiving me, and I'm going to test it. No, not at all. What are you talking about? Or maybe, yeah, actually, there is something there. So authentic relating is an incredible framework to get you to, just experience deep connection. You can apply the principles of authentic relating to, of course, relationship. But for me, relationship is relationship. David, do you mind coming back? I think we can do that after. So it could be in the context of business. You will have better relationship. You will have more clients. They will trust you more. Parenting, friendship. You can really apply to any context. Okay. Any question? Okay, I move on to breath work. Tomorrow, let's see if we have time, and if you guys have questions, I'll share the science behind it if you have some interest in it. But today, I really want us to go into staying in our heart and just focusing on the experience. So let me explain the theory behind what we're going to do. Let's check what's happening in the animal kingdom when an animal is facing danger. Let's say you have a zebra and a lion. Both are very happy, enjoying their life. Then the lion decides, I would like to eat a zebra. And he starts running, going after the zebra. What is happening in the nervous system of the lion and the zebra is exactly the same. One needs to eat, so he's going to be completely activated so he can feed himself. The other one is trying to escape death. But at a nervous system level, it's exactly the same that is happening. So with that, what I'm saying is stress is not a bad thing. Stress is part of how we are designed so that we can go out, earn money, get a partner, go beyond our limits, grow, expand. We need to be lions sometimes. But maybe sometimes we spend too much time being zebras and not enough time remembering that we are also lions. So that's just a plug-in on the relationship that we have with stress is what matters. Yeah? It's not so much that stress is a good thing or a bad thing. Stress is just part of our design, and we can choose whether we see stress as a positive thing or a negative thing. I don't want to digress too much, but basically The secret of longevity is to see stress as a positive thing. People who experience a lot of stress but consider it positive outlive people who don't experience a lot of stress. So a lot of people are focused on the wrong thing, which is, I don't want stress in my life. It's a mistake, because stress is inherent part of the human experience. What matters is to change our relationship with stress. Yeah, and there are clear studies based on that. Come to me if you want the references, but it's all I share is really based on deep studies. Yeah. Now, first reaction of the zebra is fly, run away. The lion is faster. Now the zebra is going to try to fight, flight. From the nervous system perspective, trauma is not happening yet. He's trying to run away, he's trying to fight. If there is a snake in the room and I can run, tonight I will speak with my mom. I will not even remember that there was a snake in the room, because it was not part of, okay, there was a snake, I run away, boom. And if I have the right tool and I cut the head of the snake, cool, okay, also cool, no trauma there. Trauma happens when you cannot run away or you cannot fight. Then the zebra is going to do the next thing, which is to play dead. Playing dead, disassociating in human trauma-related language, is a defense mechanism for the zebra to not experience pain when he's about to die. Why is that? Two reasons. First of all, he's not going to experience, the goal is to not experience pain. So if I'm not in my body, if I disassociate from my body, I'm not going to experience pain. The second reason is survival. The lion is going to bring back the zebra to feed its cub, and it's going to let go to get its cub. In that moment, the zebra can get up and get out. So we disassociate in our bodies for two reasons. One, to not experience pain. Two, thinking, well, the predator might decide that I'm a boring prey and he's going to let me go. That's what we do when we are being sexually abused, when we have a parent that is overpowering us and is abusing us for years. You know, I'm a child, he's my dad, where am I going to go? So I disassociate. So disassociation is a natural response in an environment, in a situation where you cannot fight, you cannot run away. It's a natural defense. In the Bataclan Theater in Paris, guys entered with machine guns and they start shooting at the audience. People fell on the ground. And for 9 hours, people had bullets in their bodies and were not moving. They are not special forces. They are kids who were dancing, and 2 minutes later, for 9 hours, they don't move. Because if I see the neighbor next to groan or move, the guy is coming and finishing them. So I know I have to stay still. And I can go through a bullet wound for 9 hours without moving. That's the power of the nervous system when we know that, okay, in that moment, that's what I need to do. Okay, so it's clear in the Bataclan, but it's exactly what we do to go through all the traumas that we've experienced in life. We develop some coping mechanism, some ways to survive, because I don't have a choice. I have to move on, I have to survive. That's what addiction is. Yeah? That's what most of our behaviors are. They are coping mechanisms. That's what wanting to make money is. That's what wanting to be famous is. Yeah? Most of the motivations that we have and all the ways and behaviors that we have are coping mechanisms that we have developed in response to different traumatic situations. Yeah? So, I pose if there are questions. Yeah? I'll come to that. So basically what happens in that moment, we disassociate. What happens that's where we are way more stupid than the zebras, is we add guilt and shame to it. Guilt and shame is not something that was put on by others, it's often things that we do on ourselves. Or I don't want anyone to know about this. I'm just going to forget about it. I'm not going to tell anyone, no one needs to know. I keep it to myself. Okay? And I'm just going to bury it inside. There is only one problem with this approach, is that it doesn't work. Otherwise, it's a great idea. What it does is, after a while, what we do is we take those emotions, those things that happen, we just hide them somewhere, and then we just bury them, we suppress them, we repress them. What happens is the body then starts to adapt to it. And then we start to have physical pain. That's what physical pain is. And usually we don't do anything about it. Oh, we try to do something. We do it unconsciously. We know that we need to have some kind of release in the body. It's called getting drunk and going to a club on Saturday night. It's called going to the gym, doing MMA, going to Zumba, or all the ways that we embody practices to somehow have some kind of release in the body. We know that intuitively, unconsciously. But if you go back to the smart one, the zebra, or the dog, or the bird, what do they do after escaping death? Shake. They shake, and then the zebra, he can eat after escaping death. And you can see all those videos. The dogs, they have the scariest moment, and then they shake, and then the tail is moving, and then they are happy again. Life is good. We are the stupidest animals on this planet. No, we need 20 years of therapy to get over those moments. But the truth is, if one moment can create a trauma, one moment can release the trauma. Yeah. The problem is the time that we have hold on to that trauma, the amount of tension that we have built on top of it. So first, information, whenever you experience, and you will experience trauma, release it right away. Yeah, so I give you a practical example. Me driving to Canggu. It's a traumatic situation. There are kids, dogs, I have to pay attention to everything. I arrive in Canggu, I'm completely like this, yeah? Okay, I put music, I go on the side of the road, and I start shaking. I start to release the tensions. I open my mouth, and I release the tensions, yeah? So the trauma of driving to Canggu, gone, yeah? Because if we don't do that, we build up. And what is the manifestation of the build-up is called disease. That's what cancer, autoimmune disease, diabetes is. Yeah? It's accumulation of tensions that are not being expressed. Yeah? What is the opposite of disease? Ease. So when we bring back ease in the body, when we release the muscular, physical tensions in the body, then the emotional suppressed, the emotions that have been suppressed get to be released as well. And then we get to be free. Now, one thing about trauma, you have the traumas that you have experienced that you know. And someone said, I experienced 1,000 traumas, and maybe 5% really happen. So they are the thing that you think happen, and then there is a reality, but it's 100% not the same. So you've been telling yourself some stories also about how your parents affected you and things that happen, and you take it as truth, but not all of it is true. Number one. Number two, you have the traumas. Do you mind going? Then you have the traumas that your parents have not processed, and then they've passed on. You know, I'm a parent, and one of the hardest things I experience is witnessing the traumas I haven't dealt with that I'm passing on to my kids. That's really painful. Yeah. So that's, and then they say that it's 7 generations that are being there held. And if you believe in it, you have past lives traumas. What I'm meaning here, and that's very important, when you're going to experience some release, it doesn't have to make sense. You don't need to understand it to feel it. So allow yourself to say, oh, something was there, and I don't know what it was. Okay? So that's that. I pose for questions.
Just to understand, because now you talk more about the mental and emotional trauma, but if we talk about physical trauma, because time to time, even in the case of zebra, young can eat zebra, okay, or just bliss a zebra. And in the case of human, if someone
Give birth, hurts
no,
the
some just an accident with
yes,
bicycle,
physical accident. Yes.
Because person will feel pain, and maybe he need to go to hospital.
Yes.
And he don't have the time to release it or shake, especially body, because body will already shake.
Yes.
So what you will do?
No, first of all, you're right. Trauma is also physical. So they're like, what happens is when you have a wound somewhere, we have a net of something called fascia, these soft tissues that are underneath the skin. And when there is some tension, if I hurt my shoulder, if I have a cut, then the whole fascia is going to be disrupted. So the tensions can be in the body. And then, so being born, giving birth, all the physical accidents of life are also manifestation in the body. But through this kind of, movement, dancing, emotional release practices, somatic work, massages, but it's in the body. Yeah. And it's, of course, you do it when you have the space. You have the space for it. But what's cool, and you're going to see it today, is it can be done in consciously. Okay, let's dance, let's scream, let's hit the pillow. But it can be done also in a, I call it forced way, like going into an ice bath or breath work. So things are going to come, but you don't have to think about it. You don't have to say, okay, now I want to release anger. No, I just give space for things to come up. Yeah?
But so if person break the leg, he can do it. He can do something on the moment because he will spend some time.
You can do it. You do it after. It doesn't matter. But just have awareness that you've been traumatized.
Yes, but body recorded.
Yeah.
Recorded in
Good book keeps the score. Yes. Yes, the body has it. Yes.
So you can remove it, or you can.
You cannot carry the imprint in the body. You can heal. Yes, you can heal. The answer is like what you shared earlier. You need to feel it until there is nothing left to feel. So when the shame is, you feel, oh, shame, oh, it's not there. Okay. So if you have experienced an abuse, a misuse, can you talk about it without being emotional? Are you free from it? Or can you just be clear with it? Or are you feel, oh my God, not sure I'm completely ready for it? Yeah? Okay, so every time we experience trauma, it's associated with a breath hold. Yeah? So the breath is the symptom of your life experiences. The way you breathe says everything about your autobiography. Are you more inhaling than exhaling? Are you holding your breath too long? Are you a shallow breather? Are you a mouth breather? Basically, a lot is expressed. If you're looking for the best breath teacher in the world, the number one, take a newborn baby. You will have your master. Yeah? And then shit happens, and then it modifies the way we breathe. So when we are breathing in a connected way, which is what we're gonna do today, when we're not holding the breath on the inhale, we're not holding the breath on the exhale, we allow the breath to move again. And all of a sudden, the tensions, the muscular tensions get to be released. And what's happening is all of a sudden, the emotion that has been stored underneath those muscular tensions get to be released. That's what emotional release is in breathwork. Yeah? It's allowing that, we say prana, that energy to flow again in the body, and then to go and check what needs to be expressed. Yeah? So it can be laughter, it can be crying, it can be an orgasm, it can be shaking, it can be wanting to scream, it can be wanting to vomit, because maybe you were asked to swallow something, swallow your opinion. Shut up, do what I say. So your voice cannot be said, for instance, it's always there. So you might want to actually physically vomit or cough. You might have seen something you should not have seen, and then you wear glasses, or you have headache, or you look in one direction, EMDR. So there's a lot of things, but basically the message is the imprint is in the body, and somehow through those modalities, and the one we do today, those get to be expressed. Yeah? And that's what I do with my touch. With my touch, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna scan, this is a stethoscope, I'm gonna scan the body and feel where the traumas are, and to help you release it. So just to give you an idea of where I touch, I like to go into the diaphragm, which is under your rib cage, because that's a primary responder to trauma. So I'm gonna go there and help you release the diaphragm. The second responder is the muscle that connects your legs, fight, flight, and the upper part of the body, called the psoas. Why so many people have tension in the psoas? It's because they could not run away. They wanted to run, they couldn't. That's where so much tension is in the psoas. So massaging the psoas and pressing there allows these often emotions to come out. Yeah, we are, in technical term, completing the cycle of trauma. If something traumatic is happening but you can escape, you're good. And that's what we are doing. We're finishing the cycle of trauma. Yeah. So usually when you release those tensions, all of a sudden the breath is expanded, the legs wants to move, the arms wants to move, and then things start to be released in the body. Yeah. But it's literally everywhere. You know, you had a heartbreak, and then your shoulders are like that because you're protecting your heart. You have tensions in the necks and in the throat. I can go on forever, but basically we're going to release. I work also a lot with the head because there is something called breath of life. Breath of life is cerebral spinal fluid, which is all over your head, and that's actually the essence of life. And it's going always at the same rhythm. Your heartbeat, your breath rate, they change according to your sleep, your stress, but the fluid in your brain is always the same pace all your life. And when we start releasing the tensions in the neck, that's why craniosacral therapy is so powerful, all of a sudden we allow that life force to come back in the body. Craniosacral is beautiful. So I'll do you some adjustments there. Questions?
We don't have to have memories of these experiences for them to be processed. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Don't think about it. Just allow the body to express. Your job is to communicate with me. If you are still and nothing's moving, and don't complain that I don't touch you, because I don't know what to do, and you're a big group. The more you talk to me with your body, the more you let the body express itself, the more you're telling me what's happening. So allow your hands to come where they need to come. You know, touch yourself, but don't do it with an intention. Just be free and allow the body to move. Move. The more you move, the more you're communicating, the more you're telling me here. But not consciously. Just don't think about it. Just let yourself. Very important. If you always do the same things, you always get the same results. So today, do things differently. So if you tend to push yourself all the time and you're really good at pushing and you breathe strongly, then breathe softly. If you are always being careful with yourself and honoring yourself, push yourself. Yeah, just do things differently. Change. And you do it today and we do it tomorrow. Do things differently today than you're going to do tomorrow. Yeah? Just explore and see, what if I do things differently? What's going to happen? Yeah? It's very important to change patterns. Right? Because the way your habits are coping mechanisms as well. In the structure, 10 minutes, connected breath. The inhale connects with the exhale. And you breathe more. You over-breathe. Why? Because I want you to charge the body. I want you to go into the state that you were when you experienced the trauma. So when you have if there is a snake, how am I going to breathe? You know, I'm facing danger. I want you to breathe in a way that's going to activate the nervous system that can bring you back into the state you were in when you were experiencing trauma. Because now you are safely revisiting trauma. Yeah? So you need to over-breathe. If you breathe softly, you're not going to activate the body. I'm not going to have any material. Okay? And again, I'm telling you that now, but then you do what you want. And if you say, fuck that, I want to breathe softly, this is going to be your experience. Yeah? No problem. I'm not going to be pushing you. Okay? 10 minutes of that. Then we do a first breath hold, relax, exhale. So it's not a full exhale, it's a relaxed exhale. And then you hold your breath. Yeah? You're going to calm down the nervous system, you're going to regulate yourself a little bit, and then tomorrow I'll explain the magic of what's happening inside the body when you do this. It's life-changing. Yeah? Mohammed is doing it every day. Yeah, so you will see, you will live those 2 days saying, fuck, I'm doing this every day. Really, really. Okay? So relax, exhale for about 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes of breath hold. And you can all do it. You will see. Okay? Next, you're going to do a shoot, which is also magical. It's the getting high on your own supply part when you activate DMT, which is produced in the pineal gland. How you do that? By breathing through the nose and doing one inhale. So I'm doing like this, breath hold, and then how I'm doing the shoot, I'm moving energy up. Literally, it starts at the perineum, that muscle between your genital and your anus. So I want you to pump that muscle and feel the pump. You can get 2 fingers and press it. Make sure we film when you do this. And then you put your hands and you move energy up. You contract your abs, you contract your butt, you contract your lower back. You really want to visualize the energy moving up, this Kundalini energy moving it up. You roll the tongue and you push it on the roof of the mouth and your eyes go up. So you really consciously move that energy up. One time, and you hold it for about 10 seconds. And then you hold the breath at the top and you release everything. And you just enjoy the shoot. So you enjoy being high. Yeah? And then you release through the teeth. And then you're going to relax for 2 minutes. Yeah? So we'll do 4 rounds like that. Connected breath, breath hold, shoot, relaxation. Yeah, I'll guide you step by step. There's nothing you need to remember. And most likely, if you do a good job, you're not even going to remember or even think about it because your brain waves are going to be slower, so you're not going to even know what's going on. So don't worry about it. Don't be attached to doing it right. Yeah, if you don't get the cues, it's okay. What could happen? You could have your hands go like this. You could have your whole body go into tetany. Know that it's safe. If you don't like it and you feel, oh my God, I don't want to experience this, you switch to nose breathing and it goes away. Yeah, so you just slow down the breath and then it's gonna go away. But if you feel, okay, let's do this, I'll explain tomorrow the physical, biological explanation, but it's also emotional blockages. It says, you know what, this doesn't feel safe, let's not go there. You know, like your brain is gonna send you some cues. Oh my God, this music is terrible. Oh, the music stopped. Oh, I don't like her smell. Oh, she's noisy and annoying me. All the excuses to not do the work. Yeah? So catch yourself when you feel like, I'm not sure I want to do this. Maybe I'm tired. Maybe I'm going to take a nap instead. Thank you very much. Just catch yourself in all those moments and then choose. Says, you know what? Today, I'm not going there. Or push through. Yeah? Know that it's 100% safe. In 2024, no one died. It's the beginning of the year. It's been a good year so far. Also, what could happen, you could get dizzy when you get up too quickly. So go to the toilet before the breath. And if you need anything during the breath, get your head and get support to walk to the toilet. It's like when you get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and you hit your knee on the bedside table. Yeah, you're not completely awake and you're trying this big adventure of going to the toilet and you fail sometimes. That's the same. So, be mindful that it's full of, steps and stuff. So ask for support. Ask for support in any case if you want tissues, a bucket, communicate with us your needs.
Yeah, so sometimes when I'm doing breath work, which I've tried before, if I push further, I get to the point where I almost pass out, or that feeling of passing out. My question is, in a way that feels good, but at the same time frightening, like I was doing some quantum flow while I was standing and that felt, and I was almost feeling I was falling down, right? So is that good? Should I allow that? Should I push through that? Should I carry that, or should I step back?
About 40 people died doing the Wim Hof method. Why? Because they do it while swimming or driving. So it is dangerous because you can pass out. If you pass out on the yoga mat, nothing will happen. Okay, it's like falling asleep. If you do this while you are swimming and enjoying a little bath with a glass of Chardonnay, you can die. And look it up. 40 people died, and people are suing Wim Hof for millions of dollars because they felt he was not giving enough safety notice. So it is safe as long as it's done on a yoga mat. I would say my attitude is one of blissitude. So I don't like to do things that feel too edgy. So I would say go to a place where basically I want you, my invitation is for you to love it enough that you want to do it every day. But if you do it and he says, oh my God, that was incredible, but whew, that was too much, you're just not going to continue with it. So I'd rather you, and also for me, because I have a big group, I don't want to have to bring you back. Because if you pass out, I have to bring you back. Usually when you pass out, you have a full tetany event. So you are passing out. So it looks quite scary for the people outside. So when this happens, I bring you back. And it's not pleasant because I'm going to press some trigger points that are going to be hurting you to make you snap and come out of it. Yeah? So don't do it today. If you know how to do it, don't go there.
I don't know. I'm just asking because I don't know exactly what's that. Because
I'll explain tomorrow the science,
right, okay.
but there's no benefit. Don't go there. You know what? Stay present the whole time is the best. Be aware of what's going on so you can have a bit of observation and you can integrate more your experience. So I would say, as a barometer, am I still aware of what's happening? Don't disassociate. Because it's also what we do when we don't want to be in our bodies. We just disassociate. Yeah? So we watch Netflix, we read books, we do things to not be present with our emotions. We go in our heads. So bring back. Okay?
And if we get dizzy or nauseous, then we just stop, or what would you suggest?
Yeah, so if you have a symptom only once, then yes, you can slow it down. But if you do it and every time you do it, you have a headache or you're nauseous, it could be a coping mechanism, so you don't experience the other side of the unknown. So it is safe. So I would say, like people who fall asleep all the time, it's a way of not feeling fully. You know what I mean? So, but in general, you want to stay in a state of bliss. And in the general way to go, mouth means more, nose means less. So you're in control. You want more, breathe more through the mouth. You feel, I think I don't like this. You switch to nose and so you're in control. How much you want to go with it. Yeah, so it's like, I'm not telling you what to do basically. I'm just telling you to connect the inhale and the exhale. In and out through the mouth will give you more effect. In through the nose, out through the mouth in the middle. Nose will be softer. Yeah, the nose can get you deeper, but it takes longer. Yeah? Mouth will get you quicker there, but it's superficial. Nose will go to the root cause. So I'll give you a quick example. If you breathe through your mouth in this way, you might start crying and have anger towards your boyfriend or your ex-boyfriend. But if instead of releasing that anger, you switch to the nose, you're going to access mommy and daddy. You know? So the usual suspect are going to come back. Yeah? So that's the answer. Last questions? Okay, so at the end of the 4 rounds, I will guide you through a visualization, a meditation. At the end of this meditation, my invitation is for you to go for a walk. Take yourself on a walk. Hopefully, you will have a lot of things going on inside your body. My invitation is for you to not get out of these feelings too quickly, but just stay and bathe in what's going on. So don't connect with other people. Don't go into checking your WhatsApp messages. Stay out of the things that could get you out of the experience. But instead of that, put a hat. They have hats in the storage, and go for a walk. And spend a bit of time cuddling the dogs or watching butterflies, or but feel that vibration that you will feel. Just carry it as you come into consciousness. So enter consciousness with that vibration. Okay? And only when you feel really integrated, then come back, grab your journal, have a moment where you really, again, you are journaling and coloring. There are colors if you'd rather do a drawing. And then after that, enjoy food. So food will be served by then. Enjoy your lunch. I would invite you to use the lunch break as an integration time. So what it means is you can just be by yourself for the whole time and still integrate. Or ask for someone that you feel a bit of a connection with to hold space for you and then have a meaningful conversation with that person. But don't ask them, well, what if it's cold in America, and don't go into where you're from and all this useless blah blah. But you know, just stay present with what's alive. I think that's pretty much what I had to share. Did I miss anything? Cool. Anything else? Any question?
Is it the number of traumas that could appear, or is it like a graduation, most important, less important?
You never know. Just welcome everything. Don't judge. Don't control. Just welcome. Surrender.
And
Just
be conscious, yeah.
be present. Yeah, be present. But try to not be in control. Just try to allow things to happen. Yeah. And just in doubt, just express. I don't like this, or if there's something that is going on, just honor yourself. If you feel that, if you feel like you want to scream, have a moment when it's out, but be mindful also that it's not useful too much. So have a release and then come back to the breath. And if someone is screaming and you hate it, lean into that, because maybe that's something about you that got triggered. Okay? But in general, I will try to bring you back to your breath. If you're making too much sound and too noisy, just bring back to the breath. Just because it's a distraction for yourself as well. No more question?